Welcome back, everyone, to the Ugly Block Challenge. I just want to say thank you very much. The last episode actually got a better response than I thought it would. There were some really cool builds that some of you guys showed me. Of course, last week's was Soul Sand. I had people make it into feces waste, dead pig parts. There were some cool there was a modern house. There were some sweet buildings. I mean, there was some really, really cool stuff. Some of the things I never even thought of, and I will fully admit some things that I will probably steal for my builds in the future. So this week on the Ugly Block Challenge, we have a new block, which if you're cheating, you can probably see in the description below this video. Or probably in the video title too, I would imagine, but we'll save that for just a second. Anyway, I just want to very quickly go over the rules and what this is. So the purpose of this challenge, if you're new to it, the Ugly Block Challenge is to take a block that is considered hard to build with, or a combination of blocks as we get farther, or possibly bigger challenges as we run out of ideas, and take those things that should be very difficult, that most people find very difficult, don't like to use, and put them into a build. It doesn't have to be the main thing in the build, but it needs to have a nice feature of the build, at least used to accent something nicely or something like that. You can't just put like one or two blocks and say that you used it. You actually have to use it. Of course, the quick rules on that: number one, you have to use the default texture pack. You can't use some other resource pack, I guess, nowadays to make them look nice. That defeats the whole purpose. So it's got to be done in the default texture pack. You've also vanilla only, no mods. Mods add a lot of crazy stuff, and sometimes those crazy things make something that's normally really hard to use really easy to use. So just vanilla. And the third thing is, it doesn't matter if you do it in survival or creative or whatever. It doesn't matter how hard you work to get the materials and things like that. The purpose of this challenge is to see what you can do with the materials, so that we can all learn to use the different blocks from experimenting ourselves and seeing what other people come up with, and then all of us can make more awesome builds in the future. So let's get into it. If you haven't looked at the video title or description yet, which I'm sure you have, this week's block is Netherrack. So Netherrack could have been the first week's challenge for sure. This was suggested by numerous people on the last video, which is absolutely no surprise. I think arguably Netherrack may be the worst block in the game in most people's opinion, if I had to take a wild guess. And I have replicated things before using Netherrack, like building fake nether areas and things like that, but I've never tried to build with it before now, and I have to say this was a lot more challenging than the soul sand for me. But I had a couple little ideas, but I wanted to go simple for the challenge just to introduce it. So let's come over here. What I did is I just kind of made this little entrance to this kind of mini little park. It's using Netherrack in the back, and I was experimenting with some different times here. I think this looks pretty cool at night, so I'm going to turn the lights off there. I just used this little really basic thing to kind of put some Netherrack behind the nether brick. They have so many color tones together, a lot of reds and things, that they actually go together. Put some lighting in here just to make it glow. But the main thing I did pop into the snapshot for this one, because I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that's perfectly fine. It doesn't really matter what version of Minecraft you use. You can use the one you're currently playing in. You can use a snapshot, whatever is totally fine. Random noise. But what I did with the Netherrack, I used, what block is this? The granite and the polished granite from 1.8 to kind of make a ground. I thought it looked a little cooler than the dirt, so I just felt like putting it there. And then I made these trees out of it. I think they actually are pretty cool. I may incorporate them into a build I did earlier on one of my series, if I can find a nice spot for them. I think they look pretty sweet. It's a cool way to add lighting too. I really like the glow effect. But I just kind of I was kind of going for the birch tree look, just using glowstone as wood and netherrack as leaves. I just again wanted to show, I know a few people went away from buildings. It's totally cool to build a building, but I just want to make sure that everyone's fully aware when you build your challenge, you don't have to do it as part of a building. It can be part of the ground, the plant life, anything. It doesn't matter as long as it features something in the build. And then I stuck these cobwebs in here just because I thought they looked pretty cool. I couldn't put any other plant life in here because they can't put anything on granite. But I thought the cobwebs looked pretty cool and they glow really bright with the glowstone, so it's kind of like this evil abandoned park. Pretty fun, pretty fun. But that's what I have, and now I want to see what you have. You can make anything you want. Make sure you feature netherrack in some way. It can be really minor, like I did with the trees here, or you can do it as part of a huge build. Very interested to see what you guys can come up with. Once you do, please share it with the rest of us. You can use a short little YouTube video, or you can take screenshots if that's easier for you, whatever. I asked some people about the video comments last week. Those actually kind of were hard to get YouTube to allow through. So if you make something, send me a private message on YouTube or send me a tweet. You can either directly send it to me at XadeCraft or using the hashtag #UglyBlockChallenge. Either method there is fine. I also have a Facebook page linked from my channel if that's easier for you, whatever. Send it to me anywhere you'd like, and I would love to see what you all come up with. I may even make a page at some point in time, like a web page or something that features, giving credit, of course, everyone's builds. So let me see what you've got, and of course, if you have any ideas for the future, I want to go through as many blocks as we can. So the first thing is, if you have any block ideas for this challenge, let me hear them. And once we run out of those, we'll start trying different things like block combinations, or saying, you know, to take something like nether brick and say build some random object that also uses nether brick, because with something like that, you know, oh, you can build a building out of nether brick just fine, but let's see you build, you know, some other thing. So those kind of challenges are fine too. Again, I look forward to what you all have, and I really liked seeing what you all had last week. That's it for this one. See you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.